Alright guys, welcome back to an episode of Frey Experience. Of course, Tyler Frey. Quick shout out to Exide Baits, Kistler Rods, and Keeping It Real Fishing, sponsors of the Frey Experience. Just want to give them a shout out and leave their links in the description and their Instagrams right here. Alright, so before I open up this box, I've heard some things. People have been DMing me on Instagram. Shout out to those people for doing that. Telling me that there is a crankbait, there's a jerkbait, and some other stuff in there. I have not opened my box, and if I've heard is true, I'll be pretty darn depressed if I get a crankbait. And I'm not even gonna go there. I'll be pretty depressed if what I heard is true. And let's start off with this unboxing. And I am gonna be doing an MTV Slam right now. I hopefully am going to Reading this weekend to help my grandfather move, and he is moving to a house that has its own private lake. And long story short, we're doing an MTV Slam, hopefully. There we go. Fishing gods, why do you do this to me? So what I speculated and heard is true. We might as well start off with it because you guys have already seen this bait. So starting off with number one, which is the most expensive bait, for $7.99 is the Exide XB1. Exide. And this is not a silent, this is the XB1. So it's in bluegill pattern, it's a shallow diver. This is kind of one of my favorite colors, not necessarily my favorite. I like Reaper Craw the best, and was it something shad? I can't remember. It's a bronzy color to it. It goes 2 to 5 feet, depending on what you do. I like to throw it on 10 to 12 pound test, and it just works for me. Let's fix that camera up, and that is a retail for $7.99. And of course, gotta go take a look at Exide crankbaits, 360 underspins, jig trailers, craws, the whole 9 yards. And if you want a 10-inch worm, you can't go wrong with their Maxxis worm. You got giant worms with giant freaking curly tails on them. They're perfection. So let's go down the line. No, I guess we have to leave something for last. Am I right? So I guess we'll leave that for last because it's gonna be hard. All right, so let's start off with something that I actually do like. Shout out to what is it? It's Baitmate. They were in my last MTV Slam, where I put them actually in my Bass Mutations trick worm. I want to say that's what it was. And if this is the same color I'm hoping it is, yeah, right here it says increased scale flake and amino acids to enhance scent. So basically, if it's the same one it is, I put it in with they were just watermelon black flake. They were just straight watermelon. I want to say they were 7-inch. 7-inch trick worms, kind of like the Zoom trick worms, and I put this in there, and it gave it a nice silver like sheen, kind of a flake to it, because there's a lot of like almost like grinded up aluminum, like that comes out of a lower unit when the gears and everything are grinding and stuff, in the oil that comes out of it, and it actually kind of gave it a nice chartreuse tint to it, and I like that. And I'm hoping this is it, because if not, I'd be kind of mad, but darn right, this should catch some fish on it. Alright, and that can actually be put on just about anything. You could put it on anything. Hard plastics, soft plastics, the whole 9 yards. So let's start off with the little boy Charlie worms. Oh, here they are at the bottom. Ooh, good color too. Yeah, I never really throw Charlie's worms. Let's actually open these up. They are the worms with the swimming tail. This doesn't look like a swimming tail if you ask me. These are a 4-inch worm, or 3.5. Pretty well made. They seem pretty strong. Why do they smell like strawberry? I swear to God, they smell like strawberry. No, it smells like shampoo, like a Laura, or no. Girly shampoo. It's kind of weird I did that. So if you guys could take a look at the tail, it's kind of like not really a fork tail, but what would you kind of like I don't know, what would you kind of call that? Not really 100% sure what you'd call that kind of tail. It says swimming tail, but I'm pretty sure they don't spin or swim. So overall, it's a pretty darn good color for. I still can't get over that. It's like a sweet smell. Like, oh, it's like strawberry or oh, cherry. It's like cherry jello mix. Swear to God. Swear to God. So if I was gonna use these, I would wacky rig them or drop shot them. That's just about it. Maybe actually on a light jig head, like a 3/4 ounce, more like 1/4 ounce, or 1/8 ounce. Actually, a Texas rig I'm thinking of, like a jig head. I have one tied on. Where is it? What are they called? It's whatever, just light jig head on there, just to bounce on the bottom and stuff. So we're going through this pretty darn quick. So we're gonna go up with the Tungsten Hotshots by Mr. Finesse, right here, guys. So these look like you actually tie, like you. Oh, they want us to split shot these right here, but I'm not gonna do that. I'll use this as a drop shot weight. So on the back, instead of it being like a usual like split shot where you crimp it down, bite down on it, you know, crimp it back down, or use your pliers. These are like ones you'd actually, like, you take your line, you make a square knot, and you tie it on there like that. Do it a couple times, or it seems that's what it looks like. I'm going around it, and it makes it look like that. So these are not really 100. Oh, it says number 3 or 4.0 grams. I'm not 100% sure. These would probably look like they'd be 1/4 or maybe 1/8 ounce or something. I kind of want to open them, I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. But moving on to, oh, Exide, or not Exide, ZMan. These are the punch craws. Oh, these are a lot like the turbo craws that I got once before, I believe. But these ones are for punching. Oh, they stick together. Ooh, I like these. Oh, great. And guess what color, guys? Green pumpkin. Ooh, these are nice. I actually do like these. These are pretty decent size, except for punching. I like to go with something bigger. That's why I like to use the Sweet Beaver. It's a bigger profile bait, and it gets the job done when just overall punching. It's just a big bait, gets their attention, they hit it on the fall. But that's just me in my opinion, but we'll give these a shot. In a pond, definitely going to be a light Texas rig. ZMan does float, so you can't really throw a weightless. With these, I may try punching with it. I don't know what the pond looks like. I'm just going in there blind. I know there's a dock. I may skip a dock with this just to do that. And there is 4, so I can do some damage with these hopefully. And if you guys don't know, that's why I like Exide when fishing with for spots, because spots have the tendency to pull the claws off. And so as you guys see here, a spot's going to have a hard time pulling those off. He may bite through it, but when he has a short strike, grabs it and pulls, he's going to have a hard time ripping them off. And that's just what I like to do. Probably other people do it too. So last but not least, we have the bait that I may have the most trouble catching a fish on. And it's, of course, the Snooze Alarm Buzzbait by Buzzbait. Buzzbait has been coming in here pretty darn, sorry, there's 3/8 ounce. So I'm guessing it's called the Snooze Alarm because that's a monster blade on there. Let's start off with that. This is making a buttload of noise. I like how the skirt is short, so fish are really going to hit up on it like that and not really hitting on the tail end of it like I have some trouble with. I like looking over that way for some reason because I have a TV right there but nothing's on it. That TV actually turns on by its own, which is kind of creepy. So I'll come home from work or from, well, would be school, and I hear it on, which is kind of creepy. Okay, there's a problem right there. When throwing a buzzbait right here, that's a problem because if you do hook a fish, that could bend out pretty easily. But also if you're like me and like throw it on rocks or trees and bump it on the stuff getting really tied up in there on that cover, it's gonna hit and it's gonna bend down and it's not gonna want to go. But that is definitely a big old monster blade on there. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that is loud. That throat's a little dry. It's really hot actually, and my throat's a little dry. So this is definitely gonna be an interesting bait to throw. Gonna definitely want to throw this on braid in the morning or not. 12-pound test probably if I was not gonna throw it on braid. But it's definitely an interesting bait to throw. You know, I don't really throw them that often. I tend to throw a little bit smaller one with smaller blades or a double-bladed one, but that's just me. So guys, of course, you got this thing, the decal, which always goes places. And then we have the dibble. Last month it was to know your KVD name or whatever. I was Sinker Channel Cat, or Channel Cat Sinker. Not the best name if you ask me. But guys, this has been another episode of Free Experience. I'm going to be doing an MTB slam, so I'm looking forward to that. Buzzbaits, again, not a bad company. They've been in here a couple times. I have a Chatterbait by them, and I believe I have a spinnerbait. Never really throw a Chatterbait, so of course I give that away to my friends, or the first person who leaves a comment or DMs me. I say, hey, you want this? Most likely they say yeah. Charlie's worms, I think is going to be the easiest thing to catch a fish on. Absolutely going to have no problem catching a fish on this. Probably going to start off with wacky ringing it with a light jig head, probably 1/8 ounce or 3/8 ounce. No, 1/8 ounce. We'll go 1/8 ounce. And then if not, switch to a wacky drop shot rig or a drop shot in general. And then, of course, this one right here is going to be needed to be throw around some timber, some grass. So I'm definitely going to make that work. I'm probably going to maybe throw this on braid. I'm going to have my rod tip up high to run it pretty darn low if there's a lot of, or pretty high in the water column, because I definitely don't want this to hit any of the grass and get all screwed up. Even though Exide's actually, what I really like about Exide crankbaits is they deflect off stuff super good and super easy. I mean, hitting them off rocks, trees, the whole 9 yards, and even coming into contact with grass, like that really good alive, I think it's hydrilla? Not hydrilla, something that's like stocky, flourishy green, gets white flowers on them. This thing just burns right through. I'll hit it, I'll see them coming up into contact, or I'll feel it, I'll rip it through there, and that normally triggers a bite. What else is good about this? The color, not bad. Going to a pond that I think probably has a lot of bluegill, so I'm thinking this will pretty much do the trick, I want to say. Not 100% sure, but definitely going to throw this on 10 to 12. Maybe on 10-pound braid. It all depends how I'm feeling, because I definitely want to catch a fish on this. Because I did do a video where I did the Reaper Craw, and I went to a private lake and fished with Tim. Wu-Tang Tim, of course. That's what his Instagram is. We'll put it right here, Wu-Tang_Tim. And then right here, the the punch craws. I think these are what's, I don't want to say that, but either the buzzbait or the turbo craws are what I think I'm going to have the hardest time catching a fish with. I may dye the tips of this chartreuse just because it seems like, or maybe just one of them, just to really, if the water's dirty and stuff. But that's what I like about this. I'm going to do my best to start off with the buzzbait and the crankbait, because I think those are what's really going to take some time to get a fish with. And this right here, this is going to be pretty hard for me actually. So what I'm probably going to do is, instead of putting it on a flick shake head, the Charlie's worms, I will probably tie this off, tie it just that far above, or maybe I actually will split shot that little tiny worm. Not 100% sure, but of course, we'll actually put this in right now, just for you guys. Oh, this saves you $1, by the way. Forgot about that. As my phone goes off, where's Charlie's worms? Actually, we're gonna put it in both. But we're gonna put it a little bit in this. Does it make sure? Oh no, this is not. Oh no! All over my gosh darn Americanized swim trunks. All right, guys. So this is actually God darn it! This is not the same color as before. It's not a chartreuse one. I need a towel. I need a towel to wipe that off. Gosh darn it. Now it looks like I pissed myself. It's all over my hands too. It's licorice flavor. I don't think they really tell you the ultra. No, it doesn't really tell you what. Oh, now it makes sense now. This is brown. So that's the crawdad color, and the chartreuse yellowy one is is the shad one. That makes sense now. So we're actually going to open up Charlie's worms, and we're going to put these in it with it too. And I'm kind of mad because I was planning on sleeping in these swim trunks because I'm super duper tired. Just got back from the Stanislaus, did some work, ran into some subscribers on my way home, so I stopped, said hi, talked to them for a shit ton of time. It's always nice to meet my subscribers. Always nice for you guys to just say hey, drop a like, drop a comment. Alexa, something like that. I think you're profile pic is like a white wolf. Shout out to you for always being the #1 guy right there. You're always the first person to put a comment down there, and all the other people that are leaving amazing comments saying, good job, you deserve this and this and this. I don't deserve that. I'm doing this because this is what I like to do. I like to make videos, and of course, above all, I like to fish. It's what I do. I like fishing bass tournaments. It's always what I do. I will not be doing a subscriber tournament in July. Sorry to get some people's hopes up. I've just been busy. I've been fishing. I've been working. Got 2 jobs now, and fishing bass tournaments isn't really paying the bills just yet. Hopefully, that'll kick off and I can start doing that more. I would say professionally, because by the state of California, some of the I'm not going to go to great detail, but I've done too well in past tournaments and trials or trails and other leagues where I'm not allowed to fish certain ones. So apparently they consider me pro, but I do not consider myself a professional bass angler at all. I consider myself getting there. Like my dad before me, who is obviously pro, he makes a living fishing bass tournaments, and then when I was born, he kind of slowed down on bass fishing, starts his own company, but still bass fishes most of the time. So basically, let's just talk about that real quick. So let's close everything up. So unboxing's over, so you guys could end the video now, leave right now, or you can listen to me rabble about how they consider me to be too good of an angler to fish certain tournaments. So, not going to name them, because that's really screwed up. Maybe I will, I don't know. So, my past experience in fishing, I've been Angler of the Year 4 times, and twice in the Angler's Choice, and I'm not going to go into great detail about that, because that doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that they don't let me fish because of, I've done 2 on the past. I made too much money, which is kind of stupid. I know Bub Tosh wasn't allowed to fish not the Angler's Choice, but the BBT. Along with my dad, he was not allowed to fish the BBT because they were too good. That's what they said. He would lose boats